Well, it's definitely been an exciting watch and a fun watch to compare these two together. But rather than comparing the similarities, which I think would be unfair, because they've got complete different body structures, and obviously Tiger can generate a lot more power, let's have a look at the similarities on how they generate and optimize their power with their body frame. So first of all, with the setup, you can see that Tiger's got a much more neutral setup. So that shaft is basically going straight to his chest, whereas with young Charlie here, it works down this left arm, which means his hands are a bit more ahead of the club head, unlike Tiger's where it's slightly further back. And also with that foot position, Tiger's left foot is panned out just a touch, and I really think that's basically to help him on the way down, just to take that tension on the way down at impact more so. But if we wind the swing back up to where his where his hand, goes through his right leg, you can see with Charlie, he's got much more wrist set. So if I was to draw this angle here with his left arm as a left with the shaft, there's a much more wrist set, which basically helps generate a bit more speed, whereas with Tiger, it's a much straighter line. So you'd almost call this a bit more of a one-piece takeaway. So then when we wind it back, it's very similar, not too much movement in the lower body, maximum range of rotation with the upper body. And on the way down, this is where we see the main differences. You can really see Charlie's right leg kicking in there, foot almost completely off the ground. Obviously, Tiger Woods is so much stronger. He's able to keep those foot grounded. Tiger also rolls his right foot in, whereas Tiger's completely rotated. You can see that his hips have turned. And also at impact, you can see how strong that grip is with Charlie. His hands are way ahead of the golf ball. But the main differences for me is that kind of full rotation with the lower body. But the most amazing thing is how beautiful balanced they both are, especially with Charlie. He's such a young player, but so much power, generates that speed with that wrist action and hands in front of the club head there.
Amazing, yeah. We've talked about the talent. Wonderful to see it there in that split screen. Laura, what stands out for you when you see the swing of Charlie, particularly sort of watching yesterday, the early indications for you?
Well, it is as different as their sizes. A lot of their swing, I mean, obviously Inci's shown us the real differences, but somehow you could see it's Tiger Woods' little boy swinging a golf club, because when they finish, as Inci said, both beautifully in balance. And it's just fascinating, really. But if Tiger's your coach, you're probably going to swing like him, because it's worked, hasn't it? For the family business, it's definitely worked.
It's done pretty well for the family business. It was really nice to hear Tiger talking to the media in the build-up to this. He sort of said, forget the technical stuff. I want him to it's about the feels or seeing the shots, the shot shapes. And how important is that, a kid at that young age, to kind of be instinctive really with what he's doing, using kind of his natural ability as opposed to getting too technical at that age? I mean, that's a mistake we often sort of hear a lot about with the youngsters.
Well, yeah, for me, that's what it's all about at this age. Just let them do what they want to do with their swing. Obviously, if they've got a real fault, and you can just chuck in a little bit of information to them just to help them through a real fault in a swing. But other than that, just let them be natural. And he's obviously a very good athlete. You can just see the way he catches and throws the ball to his dad when they were changing the markers over. He looks like a little athlete already. And yeah, just let his natural game come out, and maybe one day he'll need some real proper coaching, because I'd be surprised if Tiger's always honoured him about change this, change that, because it does look very natural.
Yeah, how important is that at a young age to let them be natural and be a kid and learn for themselves at that age?
Well, we've obviously seen the swing in slow motion, but in real time, he's got so much fluidity in his rhythm. It's like spot on. So I think that itself is, natural talent right there.